Your department has made an investment in your health and well-being by purchasing the Plymovent Vehicle Exhaust Extraction System. This system has been proven to eliminate harmful exhaust fumes from your station. For over a decade, Plymovent has pioneered and crusaded to bring to the attention of the fire community the health dangers posed by vehicle exhaust emissions to its members. Today, this topic is at the forefront of the fire service health and safety. It is well known to the Environmental Protection Agency and the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health that diesel exhaust should be treated as a human carcinogen. Studies have shown that the byproducts of engine combustion expose you to over 100 individual chemical components and a multitude of life-threatening chemical compounds such as PNAs, nitrogen oxide, CO, SO2, and CO2. The members of Plymovent are proud of their contribution to protecting the members of the fire service worldwide and have greater pride in the friends and associations established with our many customers that we continue to service. Today we welcome you to our extended fraternity of friends and valued customers. It is said that you are valued by the company that you keep. Knowing that that is true, your name will be added to an elite group of departments from all across the United States and around the world that currently use the Plymovent system. Cities and communities across the country, paid and volunteer, are currently using the Plymovent system to protect the health of their firefighters, rescue personnel, emergency medical technicians, emergency vehicle technicians, and other department members. This videotape will introduce you to one way we are providing for your safety through the Plymovent Vehicle Exhaust Extraction System installed in your station. Like any other safety matter, the success of this program depends on each of you. Your rig and your station will be modified to adapt this new system, and each of you will be trained. And then, much like the decision that you make to wear your hood and mask during a structure fire, or to use your seatbelt while riding in a car, you will have to choose to use this system. All of the equipment and policies in the world cannot force you to use good judgment. That's a matter of personal choice. We challenge each of you to make the right choice. This is about your health and your safety. Make this system part of your daily routine and use it. Your committee did their part, now you do yours. The Plymovent personal protective equipment that you see in your station is the most advanced vehicle exhaust capture equipment provided in the world today. The system is designed to require little or no human intervention. Plymovent has designed 3 styles of exhaust capture systems to accommodate any vehicle combination, regardless of whether they are undercarriage or overhead exhaust stacks. All of these systems employ an exhaust extraction fan, which is connected to a centralized ductwork system, which is automatically controlled by an auto-start electrical controller, which senses the starting and output pressure of your vehicle. This eliminates your need to manually remember to activate the system and assures that all the toxic effects of diesel exhaust are captured, contained, and safely transported out of the building. Some departments have chosen to install the Plymovent Unifilter to reduce the amount of exhaust emissions emitted into the atmosphere. Now let's take a moment to help you identify the 3 unique Plymovent systems. The Sliding Balancer Track System, or SBTA, is the most commonly applied system for single back-end vehicle configurations when your tailpipe distance from the door is less than 30 feet. The SBTA system is designed to be used with vehicles that have an undercarriage exhaust. This system incorporates a hose connection to the tailpipe, supported by an overhead track which allows the hose connection to move with the vehicle and disconnect automatically as your vehicle exits the station. It also allows for manual connection to the tailpipe as your vehicle re-enters the station. There are 9 key components to the SBTA system that you need to become familiar with. The first thing you will notice is your tailpipe has been modified with a Plymovent tailpipe nozzle stop. This stop eliminates the possibility of the grabber being placed too far on the tailpipe. The second component is the grabber nozzle. It works in conjunction with the nozzle stop to form a positive seal around the tailpipe to ensure capture of diesel exhaust. The grabber nozzle can be inflated to secure around any modified tailpipe. The next component above the lower 2-foot section of hose is the safety disconnect assembly. This assembly allows the lower and upper section of hose to separate safely and can be easily reattached. Fourth is the manual fill valve assembly. This unit allows manual inflation and release of the grabber nozzle. The fifth component is the trolley balancer saddle assembly. These components allow the hose to travel from vehicle rest position to the threshold of the door in a supported and safe manner. The sixth component is the uncoupling valve assembly. This part attaches to the track and releases the air from the bladder upon your exit from the station. This unit can be placed anywhere on the track to ensure safe release at any exit speed. The riser clamp regulator assembly is the seventh component. These parts allow hose connection to the hard ductwork and regulation of proper air volume to the grabber nozzle. The eighth component is the track. It supports the hose and duct connection and allows for free movement of hose from tailpipe rest position to door threshold. Finally are the support legs and feet. These components allow for uniform attachment of track to any and all sealing designs. As a standard safety feature, Plymovent employs a controlled breakaway release coupling, allowing the lower hose and grabber system to always disconnect, eliminating safety issues like damage to hose, track, supports, and vehicles. If the lower hose separates from the upper hose at the safety release coupling, the system has worked exactly the way it is intended. Reassembly is easy, no extra parts are required, and no damage to the system has occurred. The safety disconnect consists of a 4-piece adjustable spread joint that is easily reattached and fully adjustable. The Plymovent Straight Rail System, or STRA, is also designed to work with vehicles that have an undercarriage exhaust. This system can be used in drive-through stations or back-in stations in lengths of up to 110 feet. It is also commonly used for drive-through stations where single or multiple vehicles exit through one door and re-enter through another. It utilizes a crab assembly connected to a straight rail assembly, which allows the hose connection to move with the vehicles and automatically disconnect at the threshold of the door. It also allows for manual reconnection to the tailpipe as the vehicles re-enter the station. The straight rail system uses many of the same components of the sliding balancer track system. The items on the lower section of the Plymovent hose remain the same. The tailpipe nozzle stop, grabber nozzle, safety disconnect, and manual fill valve are all the same as the SBTA. The most noticeable change is in the track and the unit that attaches the lower hose to the rail, called the crab assembly. The crab assembly allows the hose assembly to travel the entire length of the suction rail, while supporting the hose and the lower assemblies as well as evacuating the exhaust into the straight rail above. The balancer and saddle assemblies are also connected to the crab to allow for full extension and return of the hose to the rest position as your vehicle leaves and re-enters the station. As diesel exhaust enters the straight rail, it is then evacuated through a ductwork system outside. Again, the final component of the STRA system are the support legs and feet. They allow for uniform attachment of the track to any and all sealing designs. As a standard safety feature, Plymovent employs a controlled breakaway release coupling, allowing the lower hose and grabber system to always disconnect, eliminating safety issues like damage to hose, track, supports, and vehicles. If the lower hose separates from the upper hose at the safety release coupling, the system has worked exactly the way it is intended. Reassembly is easy, no extra parts are required, and no damage to the system has occurred. Just like the SBTA, the safety disconnect functions in the same manner. Spread the collar open, reinserting the lower hose section, allowing the collar to spring back into place. After this step has been completed, you will have to reconnect the air supply, which is the black air tubing, to the blue breakaway fitting by inserting the hose fully into the breakaway elbow and pulling down on the red safety breakaway compression ring. For detailed video instruction on this or any other procedure, visit the Customer Relations website at plymoventonline.com. To access this website, you will need a user ID and password that can be provided by Plymovent to you and your station. Apparatus that are equipped with a vertical exhaust system will use the Plymovent vertical stack rail system. The VSR is the most unique system available and the easiest to use because it requires no manual hookup. The system may be used in both drive-through and back-in stations. Its one-piece rail is limitless in single or multiple connections to one rail, unlimited in length. The stack discharge is left in the up-blast configuration so the exhaust is not discharged back into the building when leaving the station. The system is comprised of an airtight straight rail that evacuates harmful exhaust gases through a network of airtight ducts. A high-pressure spark-resistant exhaust blower safely vents the exhaust outside your station. When your vehicle is started, pressure sensors located in the Plymovent rail or ductwork activate the system. Exhaust from your modified exhaust pipe is captured in the straight rail and removed from the building. As your apparatus leaves the station, the exhaust pipe slides between a set of sealing lips connected to the rail, ensuring capture while in station. The VSR is designed to move with your vehicle. Upon your return to the station, a trolley mechanism allows the VSR system to move 18 inches and automatically align itself with the vehicle exhaust stack. The stack catcher at the end of the rail automatically adjusts the rail to the driver's angle of entry into the station. The rail is mounted to a traversing track with clips, allowing it to move as necessary when entering and exiting the station. ABCs of safe operation. Safe exit speed. The system is not specific upon your exit speed, but a safe and reasonable speed as outlined in your department's emergency driving procedures. They should always be observed to ensure the safety of pedestrians, motorists, and fellow department members. The system can be fully adjusted to your department's own guidelines for exit speed or the maximum exit speed of the vehicle. Attachment procedure. Utilizing the Plymovent system is mandatory for all vehicles equipped with the Plymovent tailpipe adapter. Any vehicle that has not been fitted with a Plymovent tailpipe adapter, such as move-up, mutual aid, reserve, or relief apparatus, should not be hooked up to the system. Immediate notification should be made to Plymovent via the online customer call system so that proper tailpipe modifications can be scheduled. The grabber nozzle should always be connected to the vehicle as your vehicle enters the station and must remain connected at all times while in quarters. Depending on your station's configuration and staffing, one of the following procedures will be utilized to attach the grabber nozzle to the apparatus. Back-in configuration. For a station in which the apparatus backs into and leaves from the same door, one member will exit the vehicle, preferably on the passenger side, and enter the station to retrieve the hose drop from the rest position and bring it to the threshold of the door. At that time, they will signal the driver or engineer to back toward the door, signaling for them to stop at the threshold of the door. Next, the designated member, standing upright, will connect the grabber nozzle onto the tailpipe with the arrow of the grabber nozzle pointing up at the 12 o'clock position till the grabber nozzle hits the tailpipe nozzle stop. Then, by simply pushing the fill button located on the bottom of the MFD valve up, the grabber will inflate, securing it to the vehicle's tailpipe. When the member has safely backed away from the vehicle and the hose drop, they should then signal the driver to proceed into the station and park the vehicle at its predetermined stop, usually signified by a marker on the floor. Drive-through configuration. For a station in which the apparatus leaves through the front door and returns through the back door, one member will exit the vehicle, preferably on the passenger side, and enter the station to retrieve the hose drop from the rest position at the front of the station and bring it to the threshold of the rear door. At that time, they will signal the driver or engineer to pull toward the door, signaling them to stop at the threshold of the door. Next, standing upright, the member will connect the grabber nozzle onto the tailpipe with the arrow of the grabber nozzle pointing up at the 12 o'clock position till the grabber nozzle hits the tailpipe nozzle stop. Then, by simply pushing the fill button located on the bottom of the MFD valve up, the grabber will inflate, securing it to the vehicle's tailpipe. When the member is safely backed away from the vehicle and the hose, they should then signal the driver to proceed into the station and park the vehicle at its predetermined stop, usually signified by a marker on the floor. Safe capture area. Your Plymovent system has been designed to provide your station with capture of all vehicle exhaust emissions while connected. This provides the station and its personnel with door-to-door protection from the toxic effects of vehicle exhaust emissions. It is mandatory that the Plymovent grabber nozzle be attached to the vehicle's tailpipe at the threshold of the front door for a back-in station or the rear door of a drive-through station. The system should be used at all times by all department members, including move-up, mutual aid, reserve, or relief apparatus that have had their tailpipes modified to work with the Plymovent system. All move-up, mutual aid, reserve, or relief apparatus that have not been modified should stand down outside of the station to avoid contamination of quarters whenever possible. Safe travel path. If your unit backs out of a drive-through station, be sure to disconnect the grabber manually if your station has not been outfitted with a front and rear auto-release system. Members assigned to the vehicle are responsible for ensuring that the travel path is clear of any obstructions such as turnout gear, boots, or any other obstructions and trip hazards prior to entering or exiting the station. All station personnel entering the apparatus floor should take all precautions to stand clear of moving vehicles and the traveling exhaust system attached to the vehicle at all times. Special caution